What's up, guys? It's John with National Sports Entertainment, and I wanted to do just a last little recap here going into tonight's Lions game and our NBA games. The NBA, if you saw my last video, then it was inevitable. We put up a stinker. Our bankroll took a prison pounding tonight, but it actually might not be too bad depending on how the Magic do. This game here, I mean, I don't know. This is basically. I actually thought the Lions were going to win by more. Only because, again, we have 3 teams in the NFC. There's literally... Now, the Lions are that 4th team, but... Nobody's saying anybody but Niners, Eagles, and Cowboys. Now, obviously that doesn't mean that anything's a guarantee. Just to me, especially because the Raiders, I looked at their upcoming schedule. Preseason, I had them in the playoffs. And then I abandoned them at 3-3 and said, at best, they might fall ass backwards into a wild card spot. The reason I said that was because it was pretty simple. You could see all these different teams, the Steelers, the Jets, the Bengals, Browns, just around the AFC, that are really going to be, in my opinion, all of them, like clusterfucked at the end when we have like 7 guys going for 2 wild card spots. So the Raiders could be one of them. Like I said, they probably will do a decent enough job staying in the hunt, but I just don't think it makes sense that they would have won this game. Now the Lions, this also I wanted to go in this specifically because I think I went into this so many videos, and a lot of people, you know, I understand people how they have different sources, have different reputable sites that they trust, but everybody kept telling me that 96%, 91%, 92% of the handle was on the Lions. And I'm not saying this is proof that it wasn't, because they have paid out the public before, but I just don't think you can trust these public handle sites. The only people that truly have these numbers would be the people running MGM. Because if you guys didn't know, I was out in Vegas a few times and I learned some interesting things. And this might be, you guys might say, yeah, duh, I knew that. I didn't. But I didn't realize that literally half the strip is owned by MGM and the other half of the strip is owned by Caesars. So whatever book people are getting handles from, whatever site, MGM and Caesars are the 2 main cojones. So I just go with my intuition for public handle. I do agree there was probably more money on the Lions in this game, but the notion that it's 96% is absolutely absurd. You'd have to have a college team playing an NFL team to get that kind of split. So again, I know people have good meanings, but I personally learned I started missing games that I typically would have hit last year for a period when I started using Action and Vegas Insider. And even if it's your book, don't forget that's only the handles on your book, so it's not going to be universal. So that's just all I'm saying is, for me, public handle is like the last thing I look at. It's the first thing I look up in terms of a logical point of view, but actually looking at what they say the handle is, to me that's no different than them telling me a guy's injured. Like, they lie about everything. Speaking of, so LeBron James was not ruled out. We had a horrible basketball day, like I said. It was bound to happen, but just pretty funny because coming into this game last week, and if you catch this video, it's going to be probably right around a couple minutes into the 4th quarter. While my record today has been pretty abysmal, the only win we got was the Blazers cover, which I was going to take the win I went into, but decided now I'll play the cover to be safe. Obviously, the win would have been a better play. So I've been way off today, but I still stand firm. This was my biggest play of the day, actually. The Magic are winning this game. I have them covered in the 3. I still think they're going to win. The line moved from 3 to 4 after they announced that they were going to have a completely healthy lineup. So if you look at the Lakers lineup, LeBron's in. They got Russell. They got Davis. They got Reeves. They got their healthy bench. And let's look at the Magic's cast of misfits. The Wagner, Cole Anthony, Harris. I don't even know half these guys' first name. So, yeah, to me, this is a ridiculous trap, especially with all the other games there has been already. a lot of games where I would say the public were paid out because I faded the public and you saw how I did. So I just have a feeling this seems like it has trap written all over it. And it looks like it might be a close game. So you'll probably get, he just made a free throw. So it's going to be a one possession game. By the time the video's out, it might be tied. Hopefully the Magic don't go on a crazy run first. I would play the Magic to win. We missed everyone. I'm not exaggerating. It was a rough day in the NBA. We've had the opposite. We just went 5-1. We're gonna have this happen, but yikes! Yeah, I missed the Pacers and Norton and the Hornets. Missed the Hawks, Wizards. The only one that we got, like I said, the Blazers were getting 9 points. I really wanted to pull the trigger on the plus 300 money line, which would have been really nice. It's something I normally would do, but I wound up going with the spread, so we missed that. Luka actually played good for a change, so just really rough. And then to finish it off, we got clipped on the Nuggets. So I'm not really worried because they're all for 1 unit, and I think the Magic are going to come through. That's our only 1 for 2 units, and we hit the Lions cover for 2 units. So if our 2 units hit, or our leg 2s hit, even with all the leg 1 losses, I'm not too worried. We got 2 more cracks at those games. Between the 7 games or whatever, I have no doubt that we will close them out. But I just wanted to get that alpha out there. I think if you thought that Magic line looked a little suspicious, I don't think you're in the minority. I think you just saw a really ridiculous line. So I personally like the Magic to win this game. Looking at the score now, looking at the fact the spread barely moved with LeBron being cleared and AD, all these guys. So I'm going to make this a quicker video so people have a chance to play that in case you didn't see my last video, or sometimes I reassess and I'll have more conviction in a pick. I have more conviction now in the Magic and I already liked them. It was my favorite game of the NBA schedule, but yeah, it wouldn't hurt to play the Magic to win outright. Hopefully you're getting plus odds or better. You should be, unless they go on like an 8-0 run in the few minutes my video is uploading. Not much more to go into here. I had gone into it before, besides the handle being a very shady one. Again, I think they tell us the handle so they can do the opposite. But how often can they say the Lions are... Now, they're not the top team in the NFC, obviously. You got the Eagles, but they're in a position where they can actually say, if even for a minute, which I think we will get at some point this year, the Lions have the best record in all of the NFC. I just think I don't think they're going to do anything crazy in the playoffs. I went into this. I said they'll probably win in the first round. I don't think they're making a deep run. I don't think they're going to the NFC Championship, but I do like them, obviously. I should say did like them because it was a preseason prediction and now it's obvious. But to win the division, obviously. Get a good seed, obviously. But as far as establishing them, this might get the public on them. Just because, okay, now they got a better record than the Niners. They have a young team. Now people saw what Gibbs can do. They know they have a menace in Hutchinson on defense and other guys. So to me, this wasn't as advertised ass-kicking. That's why I like to call these games. A lot of primetime games this year have been as advertised ass-kickings. So it looks like it might be a trap, and no, the better team just cremates the worst team. It happened last night, obviously. So technically 2 nights ago with the Chargers, Bears. So it happens pretty darn often. Not all the time. We've had some shenanigans, but I noticed it seems like they're trying to reserve a lot of the beatdowns for primetime. And I do wonder if it's because that's when they know that most people will be watching and they want it to look a little more on the up and up. And especially when you have a team like the Raiders, I've noticed a team like the Steelers, a team like the Broncos, a lot of these middle-of-the-pack teams, when they go up against a good team, they just get completely blown out. It's usually the ones that really suck that keep it close. Jets against the Bills, they won that game. Giants against the Bills held it close. So I've been trying to look at the primetime commonalities as well. But yeah, as I've been going into it, I've been kind of running back and forth doing a lot of things, and been trying to get these videos out, obviously with more sports, trying to get them out as organized as possible. But my next video is going to be, obviously, we have a couple NBA plays tomorrow I'll be going into. I am officially going to do I already basically have everything set up because I had to set up all the seating. So I'm going to run through. I know a few people have been asking for my complete NBA standings, a complete in-depth breakdown of exactly all the teams that I think are going to make the wild card and all that. Especially now that we kind of see we're in the regular season. how these teams are looking, together and against each other. So I'll probably have that out in like a day or two. All I'm going to do is just run through, all the different teams and then the playoff matchups that I think that'll happen. I did a preseason one, but this one's going to be way more in depth. And yeah, I'll have tomorrow's basketball picks out, a couple good college games before Saturday, so I'll have those. And I know the Steelers play Thursday. Not sure who they play yet, to be quite honest. We're looking at Titans, Steelers. Titans are a weird one. A lot of times, whatever I do with the Titans, the opposite happens. But I do immediately notice 3-4-3 is a trend. So maybe the Gematria guys, if you guys see something, let me know. I'm always open to it. I just feel like it can go both ways. Dolphins Chiefs going to be great, obviously, in Germany. That's going to be one heck of a game. So there's going to be someone to take advantage of. But yeah, it's a nice finish to the week. I'd gone into, if you missed my last football video, I went into how, even though we did not have a great week by any stretch for the weekend, because I do my week plays and my weekend plays. The weekend's obviously all the football games, then I even threw in basketball. And because of this Lions cover, we finished almost around 5 units. I think it's 4.5 units, 4.25 units, maybe to be exact, in the net. And it was with exactly a 500 record. So if you want any alpha on a good betting systems and the system I personally use and why I use it, with the receipts, of course, because I show the receipts on everything, you can watch that video. I think it'll be very informative. There's a few people that really focused on the money management aspect, and of course I love when people say, awesome pick, you're the best. I'm a human being. Everyone likes some type of gratification. But for me, when someone says, oh man, I looked at the system or I used it and it's really helping my bottom line, or yeah, I like this system because we have a percentage advantage that we didn't have before. To me, that's even better than someone saying I had a great pick or a great week of picks, because again, the system can be used for any sport. It could be used in a rut. It can be used in a works, no matter what. Whereas, again, hitting 70% against Vegas is just improbable over the course of a season. Again, we're going to do it for weeks at a time. That there's no disputing that. But just, again, looking at our NBA night tonight. If I'm not using my system, that's just a rough night. And now we got to make up 5, 6, 7 sequences. And we're not getting the plus odds. We're not getting a net profit of 1 on each sequence. Now we got to do 5, 10 new ones tomorrow and hope to really do well. So it just takes the whole sweating the game out of it. I literally nap through these games. Like half the time the game's on, I fall asleep, check the scores afterwards, and then just plug in my leg 2, leg 3s. But yeah, that was a deep one where I went a lot into the money management aspect, and I think it's very important, and it does bear repeating the importance of it. But of course, I'll take tonight's win. Obviously, it was a good leg 2 win. I almost made it a leg 3 for 4 units. I just wasn't positive because the Chargers did just dominate the Bears. So I was thinking, well, maybe we do get that split. Again, we don't always get the split. I only use that as like a tiebreaker. I like the Lions anyway. So we got them as a leg 2 instead of a leg 3, but I'll take it. And let's see where we're at here. Yeah, we're tied, so I'm gonna wrap this up so you guys can get in on it. I like the Magic to win this game. I think it's a complete absurd line that only Disney could have made up. And of course, it's their team. So take care, everybody, and happy earnings.